Hello, everybody. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Matt Arts with Halloween Daily News, and I want to welcome you. If you're new here, this is our weekly live broadcast where we talk about all things Michael Myers and the Halloween movie franchise. And if you are a returning viewer, then welcome back. I see we've already got a few of our friends on here. There's Byron. What's up, man? Thank you for being here tonight. And I see Michael Kohler Music. Welcome, Michael. He says you can't kill the boogeyman. So true, as we all know. Again, probably not going to be on here too long tonight, but we do have some news items to talk about and a few things. I mean, I say that every week, and then before I know it, an hour has passed by. But so we're just going to get into it. I hope everybody's doing good this week and had a good Monday. Bear with me, as you'll see, things are still changing behind me and how things look, and because I'm still working all this out, as you guys know, I'm still fairly new to the YouTube broadcasting, especially the live on-camera stuff. So that's a work in progress, but hopefully every week it's getting a little bit better with what I'm doing and what you see and how it all looks and sounds. But again, if there's audio issues, let me know, please. And if there's buffering issues, let me know. If for some reason we just get disconnected, my usual disclaimer, I will try to rejoin this stream if possible. And if not, then I'll start another one and put the description to that in the link to that in the description of this video. But so far so good. So let's dig in about what we have to talk about this week, which is some Halloween Kills news, a little bit of Halloween Kills news, a little bit of Halloween Ends news, but it's all very exciting and leading to some more exciting news when Halloween Ends actually ramps up and starts filming. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Let's see. Byron, yeah, you did tell me you'd be here. Yes, I was talking to Byron earlier today, and talking about possible sequels, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. I see Anthony Landry is here. What's up, man? Thank you for being here. That's a familiar name and face, I know, and that we met at that amazing event out in Pasadena in 2018. Thank you for being here, my friend. Let's see. Byron just messaged you about the anthology series. All right, I'll check that out in just a few. Thank you. And Ken Leshy Zarish. I hope I'm saying that right. Sup, Matt? How you do? I'm doing good, man. Thank you for being here. Hello, Venom. Hello, Venom. Welcome. Thank you for being here, Venom. And as always, happy Michael Myers Monday, guys. I'm going to take a breath, take a drink. It's my usual Michael Myers mango twist. And yeah. You guys talk amongst yourselves for just a second. All right, so we're going to just get into some of the news that we're going to talk about. Anthony says H4O created some lifelong friendships. Hope we have another. Me too, man. Me too. I'm hoping there's an H45, which now is, only about 2 years away? If so, that would be amazing. If not, definitely an H50, but yeah, I'm hoping for an H45, and I'm hoping that we can be there. And you're right. I mean, we met so many awesome people out there. God, what an amazing event. Lifelong friendships and bonds made out there for sure. As is the case with this franchise. I say it all the time. It's the best fan community, of any franchise. All right, guys. Phil just loves the mug. Yes, I got my traditional. It's technically a Halloween Resurrection mug. If you can see, that's Michael's. The many emotions of Michael Myers. Excited, sleepy, confused, jealous. And it's all the same, of course, it's Michael. But yeah, that's my traditional Michael Myers Monday mug. Byron says Andy Matichak has a movie coming out real soon. Yeah, I saw that. I saw an article about it not long ago, and I saw that she actually just posted a teaser, I think, for the trailer that's coming out, I guess, tomorrow. But that looks interesting. All right, let me go ahead and get into our first news item, which again, it's news. I haven't reported on it on the site. We haven't talked about it on one of these lives. It happened since our last broadcast last week. But John Carpenter did a brief interview with Entertainment Weekly. And again, I know it's probably not news to some of you, a lot of you guys who are very well versed in all of this every day, as I am. But again, I haven't talked about it here and we haven't discussed it. So I just want to go in to the interview. And actually, I'll pull it up over here so you can see. That's the section that we're talking about. And it's very brief. And on Halloween Kills, Carpenter says, quote, "It's brilliant. It's the ultimate slasher. I mean, there's nothing more than this one. Wow, man." End quote on that one. Okay, so this is not, again, it's Carpenter. What's he going to say? He's not going to say he hates it. Don't go see this movie. It's not worth the wait. He's a producer, David Gordon Green. They're saying, obviously they're trying to keep the hype going and sell the movie, and they know that a lot of fans were quite frankly pissed off with the delay. But this is also Carpenter. He's got no reason, to bullshit about this. So I do think that he's being, somewhat honest when he says it's the ultimate slasher. That is in line with other quotes and comments that other people have said, namely David Gordon Green. My favorite quote about Halloween Kills so far is from Blumfest last year when David Gordon Green said, "It's our Empire Strikes Back." Which means everything's going to go to hell in this, and it's going to be a dark, dark middle chapter, which is exactly what it appears, by all accounts, is going to be. So Carpenter, again, we've heard him say similar things, that the kill count is just unbelievable in this film. The kills are unbelievable. Calling it the ultimate slasher, I mean, that's big words. That's huge. And I love that he says it's brilliant. And I hope that that it is as smart as as the 2018 film was, and I think as some of these films, as they do have the potential to be. Also on that interview, you can see the very next, or actually the previous bit is, again, not news. We knew that they were done scoring Halloween Kills. We know that Halloween Kills is completely locked theatrically and has been rated, in fact. So it is, sitting on that shelf ready to go. And he notes that they can't score Halloween Ends yet because everything's on shutdown. Hopefully things will get better next year. This leads a little bit into my next news item. I mean, it's all related, but it's a little bit more about Halloween Ends. And as I said, when and where they might start filming of that. So again, just to wrap up, that's Carpenter, ultimate slasher. There's nothing more than this one. I think he means in terms of you can't get more extreme and have more visceral kills than they have. I'm assuming that's what he's in reference to, but we'll see. We'll see. Actually, before I we'll do that after. Normally I do the show and tell in the beginning. I'll do that after. Let me just get to the news that everybody is talking about, or everybody is anxious to hear about, I should say. Halloween Ends. It is looking more and more, by all accounts, that I mentioned this before, I think last week and maybe the week before, that it is probably going to be shooting back in Wilmington, North Carolina. Now, this is not set in stone. It has not been confirmed. Again, this is not, this is part of why it's not a published story on HDN at the moment. But knowing everything I know and following everything about the North Carolina film industry, about what Blumhouse is doing and putting a lot of things together, I think it's very, very likely that Halloween Ends returns to Wilmington to film where Halloween Kills film. This is for a number of reasons. And I'll go over some of these with you right now. Most recently, we've got a statement from Blumhouse to a local Wilmington outlet called Star News Online. They cover the film industry. They're really great about it. And they announced just at the end of January, you might have remembered me saying, I think last week or maybe the week before, I mentioned that Blumhouse was shooting a horror thriller in Wilmington. Well, that has now been identified and confirmed to be a film called The Black Phone. Now, The Black Phone is directed by Scott Derrickson, who directed Sinister and Doctor Strange, and it is starring Ethan Hawke. Okay? So that's shooting there right now in Wilmington. It's got a presence at the EUE Screen Gems Studios. And this is key because this is where I'm what I talked about a few weeks ago about why I really feel the cards are lining up for Halloween Ends to come back to Wilmington. First of all, you've got Halloween Kills. That's where they filmed. And a large part of Halloween Kills, you may or may not know, was filmed on sound stages in the EUE Screen Gem Studios. It's a major, major studio in Wilmington. It's been there for decades. And if you don't know, Wilmington has a very well built-in film industry. They have a lot of knowledgeable people that have been making movies there, a lot of great movies, a lot of great horror movies for decades. So many movies that you know and love. And I could rattle off a ton of them another time, but stuff like The Conjuring was filmed there, stuff like The Crow, Maximum Overdrive, Firestarter, the original Firestarter. So many great films. Now, Blumhouse and Universal, they have shot Halloween Kills there in the fall of 2019. They did do some on-site locations, but very much of that film, the majority, by far, was shot, from what I understand, on closed soundstage sets at EU Screen Gems Studios in Wilmington. So, and this was pre-COVID. Now, since the outbreak, since COVID last year, one of the places that the film industry has restarted is in Wilmington. One of the first films to shoot there, begin shooting there, and conclude shooting there was the new Scream movie. That was shot, again, very much majority, largely shot right there at Screen Gem Studios. And I do believe they had a short shutdown when a few crew members tested positive. But at least as far as we publicly know, there was not another shutdown. There was only that one when they shot Scream. This was back in the fall of last year. So Scream has come and gone. So that was kind of the testing ground, I feel like, for Wilmington, for EUE Screen Gems, and for productions. And, LA is still a hot spot. You have a lot of, big studio production. You've got Marvel going over to Australia to shoot the new Thor. That's, But now we've seen productions like Scream come and go successfully and do what they have to do. And I think having those sound stages was very much key in making that a successful filming experience for everybody. Now, you add that to the fact that Blumhouse is there right now shooting the Ethan Hawke film I just talked about, The Black Phone. It's a horror film. It's shooting, again, not 100% on the sound stages, but it is confirmed in this recent article at Star News. Bill Vassar, Executive Vice President of EUE Screen Gem Studios, said that the Black Phone production will have a presence on their lot. And the article says, furthering the fruitful partnership forged with Blumhouse. And Bill Vassar, who is, again, the Executive Vice President of the studio there in Wilmington, he says, we have developed a good relationship with them, meaning Blumhouse, and they've become a repeat client, which is what we like to see. Screen Gems, it's a huge studio. They've got tons of warehouses, tons of space. They've got numerous projects shooting there right now. Black Phone is one, numerous other projects. One of them is a thriller about the International Space Station, and their largest warehouse has been transformed into the International Space Station for that. Okay, so what I'm saying is they've got a lot of space. They can really transform. They can, they recreated the Haddonfield that was created in 2018, filmed in Charleston, South Carolina. They recreated that largely on those sound stages when they shot Halloween Kills in 2019. So I think it's not, it's not a huge leap to think that the stars are kind of aligning to have Wilmington be the site again. But it's not set in stone. And in fact, in this interview, it is stated that, let me find the quote for you guys here. Yeah, it is stated that Halloween Ends is expected to start filming this year, and that Wilmington is in the running once again to host. But Blumhouse spokesperson confirmed that as of January 28th now, Blumhouse says a final decision on location and timing has not been made. Now, that's on the 28th of January, a little over a week ago, about a week and a half ago. That's when that quote from Blumhouse was published. So they don't have a time and a location set at this moment for Halloween Ends. That's not big breaking news, but it is notable. They're certainly not starting filming right now, right away. In fact, Blumhouse is, like we said, in production on the Black Phone. On the other side, you've got Roughhouse Pictures, which is David Gordon Green and Danny McBride's production company. They are based in Charleston, South Carolina, where they filmed Halloween 2018. They are just about to start production on season 2 of their HBO series, The Righteous Gemstones. And where are they filming that? Again, back down in Charleston. So that confuses the issue a tiny bit. But again, I think all of these things combined, the fact that Halloween Kills was filmed there, the fact that productions like Scream have come and gone successfully in the age of COVID with the protocols in place. There is the backlot, the Screen Gem Studios, where they can recreate Haddonfield 2018 as needed, just like they did already with Halloween Kills. And they know the people. They know the crews there. I just think it's going to line up. And then you couple all that with the fact that Blumhouse is there right now, shooting as we speak, their current feature. And and then the final piece of that is a thing called film incentives, where the state, many states offer various tax deductions and financial incentives to have big budget productions come film in their state. And sometimes it's tied to things like using a certain number of local or regional crew members from that state, or whatever it might be. And North Carolina has a pretty good now set of incentives in place. And there were a few things that in recent years steered a lot of productions away from here that have now expired. There was a very controversial, what they called the bathroom bill a few years ago, and that was still on the books, some remnants of it, until I believe January of this year. It finally, all of that is done. So I think a few of the things that used to keep people away from North Carolina, film industry wise, has changed a little bit since then. So that's not exactly a scoop, not exactly certainly nothing confirmed, like I said, but everything is pointing towards Wilmington, North Carolina being the shooting location. When? That's another question. But again, if I had to guess, taking everything into consideration, I would say fall. Because, number one, no matter how you cut it, there's going to be a whole lot more people vaccinated and a whole lot less, I hope, COVID numbers are going to be down a lot. by then. Protocols will still be in place, obviously. It'll still be an issue, but so I think probably fall. Also, fall is when they filmed Halloween Kills. Fall gives them a whole year to edit the movie, to test screen the movie, to do any reshoots they might need to do. It was a whole year, which was their original time frame for Kills. I think originally it was going to be Kills, and then a year later they'd come back in the fall. What was going to be the fall of last year and film ends. So it kind of keeps that schedule only just a year after the fact. Also, looking at fall, it also gives them even more time. If they can't do it in fall, they've really got right up until January even of 2022 to start production, because if you remember, it wasn't until early January of 2018 when they actually started principal photography of Halloween 2018. And they wrapped in like mid-February. It was like a 6 or 7 week shoot. So really quick turnaround on that one. Kills was, I think, 8 weeks, but it doesn't take a huge amount of time for them to turn around these films. So they could hypothetically push it as far back, I'd say, of January next year even. But I would think everybody involved wants it in the can and pretty much done roughly by around the time HK is released, for obvious reasons. Then they can just seamlessly move into the hype and marketing for the next film. So you guys tell me what you think, and if you think I'm on the right track with this. But again, this is not, I've not gotten this confirmed. This is just reading other people's reports, but it is confirmed from the spokesperson of Blumhouse that as of a week and a half ago, nothing was set in stone. But as I read to you, at the same time, Wilmington is still very much in the running, in their words. So whether or not it'll be Wilmington or Charleston, because I do think it's really only going to come down to those. I don't think anybody who doesn't have to shoot in LA right now, I don't think anybody's really trying to right now in the foreseeable future. Which is good for North Carolina and Georgia film industries and South Carolina film industries, but so. All right, let me catch up on these comments. Sorry, guys. I'm not ignoring you. I just when I get going on a train of thought, I just it's better if I just go with it, and I apologize. I'm not ignoring you. Okay. Let's see what I missed. Byron says, "Sorry, I was doing something. What were you saying about the sequels?" Well, Byron, I'm not going to recap it all, but basically, I think Halloween Ends is going to film in Wilmington, North Carolina, where Halloween Kills filmed again. And we talked about Carpenter's EW interview. Let's see. Halloween Kills is going to be badass. I now have 8 Halloween sequel pitches. Wow, Byron. Woo. That'll keep us going for the next few decades. Venom says, what if they already filmed Halloween Ends in secret? Now, that's a great point, Venom. I would actually love for that, if that already happened. I don't think it has. Just being honest, I don't think, but, I mean, man, I've thought about that. Like, what if they were filming in secret? Like, I was almost, before it was confirmed that the black phone is the black phone, I was kind of like, what if they're, like, filming it right now and don't want anybody to know? And I think that'd be awesome if they could pull that off. I miss kind of the days of surprise movie releases and surprise shows where you just didn't know things so far out. I think in a way it sets these unbelievable expectations when you've got 5 years to just feed every possibility of how great it might be, and then it's really nothing like what your brain imagined. So I would love that personally if they were filming in secret or already did somehow. I mean, yeah, if they did like last year and nobody even knows it. Remember they did that with the newest Blair Witch movie a few years ago. It was like a surprise at I think, San Diego Comic-Con, where they were going to screen something, or they were calling it The Woods, is what it was. And it turned out that The Woods was actually the new Blair Witch movie, and it was just a complete shocker. Yeah, I miss things like that. I'd love to see something like that. All right, let me catch up on these comments. Byron says they would say something if Halloween Ends was filmed. Yeah, I mean, again, just judging on how the past two films, it was well known and well announced that it was in production, and then there were some set photos that leaked during production of both of them. I think in this day and age, they're probably not going to do the secret thing. I would love to think that that's still possible and that, they might. But again, my personal opinion, that's not what's happening. But I would love that. But I kind of agree with you, Byron. I think just the way the world is right now, they would put it out there that we've begun production on Halloween Ends. But who knows? I mean, what if they say nothing and then Halloween Kills comes and then at the very end we get a teaser and surprise, it's already filmed and we didn't even know it. They did it right under our noses. It's possible. Let's see. Arturo Batista says salve. Okay. Welcome, Arturo. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Byron says January or February. I guess you mean that's when you think it'll film next year. El Senor Dia Creepypastero. Hello. Welcome. Another familiar name. Welcome back. Happy Michael Myers Monday, Senor. Venom says, I feel like Halloween Ends will be lacking with story, with kills. They said it's the most brutal, intense. I'm like, what is Halloween Ends going to accomplish? Yeah. Well, just going by the comments that David Gordon Green put out not long ago, I think their intention is to go wide on the community effects of Michael Myers coming back 40 years later, and also the community carnage, for lack of a better word. I just thought of that, by the way. Community carnage. There you go. You're gonna see it everywhere now. But yeah, and then I think with Halloween Ends, it will go back to a more emotional, more intimate ending, which I think is the only place they can go, in my opinion, is is back to the Strode women. Like I said, I can't see one or two of them not being killed off in kills, but certainly one or two of them, meaning Laurie, Karen, or Allison, one or two of them will survive to make it to Ends, and I think it will have to come down to Michael and that one, whether it's Laurie or Karen or Allison or any combination of that. I don't think there's any way all three of them make it to the third movie, much less to the end of the third movie. But just with this story they're telling, and I mean, again, with this story they're telling, it almost feels like it would have to be Laurie. I don't know. I could see how they could make it Allison if depending on how things go in this film. If Laurie doesn't survive kills, but I mean, if she survives this next film, then I mean, it's almost got to be a Michael Laurie showdown. I mean, it's where else do you go from the massacre that we're being led to believe Kills is going to be to a more intimate thing? It's got to be, even though they're not brother and sister in this timeline, at least at this point. Yeah, I think that's where they're going to go. I mean, not to the brother-sister timeline, but I just think similar to the brother-sister timeline. Even though they're not brother, it's still them two at the core. Or at least Michael and the Strode women and how that's going to be affected. Because obviously Karen, her whole life up to a certain point was, what she thought was her warped mom just being warped. And she was warped, but rightfully warped in this case. And then Allison, of course, coming at it from a place where her mom says your grandma's just warped, and she's trying to understand where that comes from, and then sees, oh, this is where it comes from. This is, I think Allison and Karen both definitely um, had some awakening that they experienced in some awakenings in 2018. That Laurie's not quite as Laurie was right, basically. Laurie was right, just like Loomis was right. Laurie was right. All right. Let me see. Sorry, guys. I'm yapping and missing your comments. Senior says movie favorite of Michael Myers. Okay. Um, do you know if there will be a novel? Ken asks. I've not heard it officially announced, but I would be surprised if they don't uh, do a novelization for Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. I loved that they did that for the 2018 film. I I think just the fact that they did that whoever was behind that, whether it was Ryan Turek or Ryan Freeman with Trancas or whoever it might have been, who kind of pushed that novelization. Um, I really hope that they do that again. That being said, I had seen an interview with John Passarella, who wrote the novelization. He did an interview with one of our friends last year and said that he hadn't been contacted, at least at that point, I guess, to do a Halloween Kills novelization. So that whether or not they'll get another author for these next two, I don't know. And I've not heard it confirmed that they're going to do more, but I would assume that after doing the 2018 one, that yes, we'll get that. Just like we'll get the soundtrack release probably on the same day, I imagine, and then maybe a year later the extended edition of the soundtrack release, and then um, and who knows? Eventually we'll get a box set. Like I have said before, I think eventually we'll get a box set with all of these three films, maybe even including the 78 as well. But certainly this newer trilogy of films will be included. This current saga, this current timeline will all be released, probably somewhere around 2023, which would be the 45th um, anniversary of the original film. That might be the time to do it, or even after that, possibly. But I think all that will come down the line, including the novelization. Byron says, I'm thinking it might come down to Michael and Allison or Tommy Doyle in Halloween Ends. That could be very interesting if it Tommy now. Yeah, I'm very excited to see how they do the Tommy Doyle character, what they do with him in this next film. I think Anthony Michael Hall is going to do great. He's a great actor. I've mentioned it before. I know Brian Andrews and consider him a friend, and of course I wanted him to be cast as Tommy again and join all the other legacy cast members that are back. But I'm not gonna prejudge the film or anything based on that by any means. I think Anthony Michael Hall is a great actor in his own right and is certainly going to bring some intensity and his own talents to this role. And I liked Paul Rudd's performance as the character, and so yeah, I could see that. And the only reason I think it might not come down to Michael and Tommy in Ends would be it'd be such a should not even have him in the 2018 film, and to have him more or less in the climax of their climactic film. Again, I would say probably more chance of Allison. But that's not to say that Tommy's not going to be a major character, a major factor going forward into Halloween Ends. And again, this is just me, like you guys. We're just friends talking. I haven't read the script or anything. And this is just me fanboying out with you guys, speculating like we like to do here on Michael Myers Monday. And as always, you don't have to drink every time I say it. It's just I feel like I have to because, It's like a drinking game. Michael Myers Monday. Oh, that's 2. All right. Venom says, but Halloween Kills will have the returning characters from 78. That's pretty emotional for haha. It's pretty emotional, yeah. I think it's going to be how much those returning characters from 78 are going to play a role. I'm still curious about. As we were just talking about Tommy, I do think Tommy is going to have a pretty important role. I hope Lindsay does. As far as Brackett and Nurse Marion, I don't know. Are they going to, is it just going to be a scene or two? Or are they going to have more of a presence? I don't know. It's kind of hard to say at this point. But it does appear anyway that Tommy is going to be a considerable factor for sure. Senor Dia Creepy Postero says, Viva Michael Myers, EK Jason Voorhees. My Spanish is not the best. Pierda en la Battaglia contra Freddy Krueger. I think that's saying Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger are better than Freddy, or Michael and Jason are better than Freddy, maybe, or I'm sorry, I apologize. Maybe you guys can translate better. But Viva Michael Myers, I know that. I know what that means. So yes, agree there totally. This trilogy might as well be the Dark Knight trilogy of the Halloween timeline. Yeah, that's a good analogy, Byron. I think, I think we as fans of this franchise will probably look at it very similar to the way fans of Batman films and the Batman franchise in general look at those 3 Nolan films. Do you think Michael will paralyze Laurie? Ken Leshy asks. That's a good question. I never really thought about her being paralyzed, but that could be. That's something else we haven't talked about. We know Halloween Kills is going to pick up that same night of Halloween 2018. So in movie time, it's still Halloween 2018. Obviously, pre-COVID, pre-January 6th, another world. But Halloween Ends, we're assuming now, is also going to continue more of that same night. But I don't think it's ever been said specifically by anyone that it's definitely going to continue that same night into Ends. Maybe I need to go back and read those first press releases, and or you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe it picks up down the road a few years. And if so, Laurie, again, recovering maybe in a wheelchair at that point, maybe because she was paralyzed or just injured, nerve injuries that got worse, or I could see that. I never really thought about that, Laurie in a wheelchair so much, but I could see that, especially if, like I said, if Halloween Ends kind of jumps a few years. Yeah, Venom agrees with Byron that this timeline is definitely the biggest Halloween timeline. Yeah, this is the biggest. This is the biggest the movie's been, I think. Those zombie films, that first one especially, this franchise was huge when that came out. But I think 2018 topped it. Let's see. Byron says, I'd love to see Adam Green do a Halloween movie. I think that would be awesome if done right. Yes, Byron sent me a pitch that Adam Green had made, which I do remember reading a few years back before they announced Halloween 2018, and he just kind of, more or less pitched that he would, kick off the movie on a random Halloween night with some random new teens in Haddonfield telling the legend of Michael Myers, and then you don't know why he's back, but he's back, and it's ignore the sequels and just kind of let him start doing his thing for no reason because he's pure evil. And And that was the gist of it from what I remember. And I kind of like that pitch. And I do think that that's almost what they would have done with 2018 had getting Jamie Lee Curtis back in the fold was not an option. Like, had she flat out told them, no, I'm not coming back, I kind of think it would have been a similar story, only I think the Laurie character in that version wouldn't have been Laurie. It would have been another survivor that maybe we've never even met, but it would symbolically be the new Laurie, I guess, for lack of a better term. Or maybe they wouldn't even have had the Laurie character in it at all. But they certainly did have some things in mind before getting Jamie Lee Curtis involved, before she agreed to come back. And then they retooled some things to really make it about her once she was on board. So, let's see. Venom says, "Do you think Halloween Ends will be brutal like Halloween Kills?" Yes. I think Halloween Kills will be the most brutal of these three. Just because with a title like that, I mean, you got a lot to live up to, but oh yeah, I think it's going to be brutal. I mean, I thought 2018 was pretty sufficiently brutal for the most part. Especially some of those aftermath killings that you didn't even see. Like, I love the guy in the gas station, with his jaw ripped off, and then the stomping on the head and the human jack-o'-lantern. I mean, it was pretty. So yes, I think definitely it'll be brutal like Kills. Maybe not as many kills. Like Ends might even have the smallest body count of these three movies, but yes, I think they'll still be brutal and hopefully more emotionally hard hitting than ever. Which, I don't know if my heart can take it, but I mean that's what we want. We want kind of that gut punch in a good way, with these movies. Let's see. Byron asks, how would you react if Halloween Ends came out on HBO Max or Shudder? I would probably be... Well, I would definitely be disappointed if they were not going to do a theatrical showing, of course. Now, if COVID numbers... something crazy happens, nothing's better by next year, half the theaters are still closed, nobody feels safe going to the theaters, then honestly I'd probably be kind of thankful for something like HBO Max. I mean I watched Wonder Woman last month on HBO Max. I'll watch Kong vs. Godzilla next month on HBO Max, so of course I want to see them in the theater. Of course, but, and I know a lot of people are skeptical right now on if Kills is going to be pushed back again. And a lot of people are going back to Jason Blum's comments last year. He said there's no way, it's definitely coming out next year. Look, I mean, things change, and the virus, I mean, I know theaters, I just feel like it's unlikely that they're going to push this movie back another year, mainly because it is a movie that they've kind of already committed to. Okay, we got to release it in October, which I agree with. So it's not like something they could push back a few months. It's either push it back a year or release it this year, which I agree with. It should definitely be released in October. But yeah, my personal feeling is I'd be very surprised if I mean, last year I wasn't that surprised when they did the delay. And to be completely honest, I was a bit relieved in a lot of ways when they did the delay. I'd be pretty surprised if they don't release it this time. I am curious, though, if they don't do some kind of... Because we talked a few weeks back, Universal signed a release deal with some of the national chain theaters where some of their films... they can put on PVOD 2 weeks after their release, If they make, I think it's less than $50 million. If they make more than $50 million in the first weekend, then they'll get a 30-day theatrical exclusive release before going to premium VOD. And I go back to that, and because if that's, going to go forward and still be in place and be a thing, then yeah, I think that it's, basically, yeah, I think that, I'm sorry, guys, I forgot where I was at with that. Anyway, yeah, I don't think they're going to delay the release. It's possible. Anything's possible. But that's the only part I think maybe they could tweak. I mean, if theaters are not open or are still mostly closed, half closed like they are now, something like HBO, like Warner is doing, where it's released in theaters where it's available, but also in a premium VOD format, that might make sense. Of course, the only problem with that, like I said, is Universal signed that agreement with AMC or Cinemark and some of the other theaters, so that they could have a theatrical thing, which all is fine and good, except for when you're talking about a Halloween movie like Halloween Kills. It's going to be released exactly 2 weeks before Halloween Day, and on November 1, that movie to general audiences becomes just a tiny bit less sellable, less relevant to general audiences. We'll watch it whenever, but not everybody, the time to release a Halloween horror movie called Halloween is certainly in October. I almost feel like if they could move it up a few weeks and then have that PVOD option right before Halloween itself. But at this moment, I'm going to choose to just be hopeful and think that theaters are going to be a lot more operational, a lot more open. People are going to feel safer. Vaccines, I mean, hopefully I'm going to have a vaccine by then. And I can go to the theater in October and feel good about it. And, so that's what I'm hoping. Yeah, I know some people are worried that it might get delayed again. It could happen, but I'd be far more shocked about that than I was at last year's delay, because that really wasn't a surprise. All right, guys. Let's see. What did I miss on here? I'm sorry. Venom says no. Apparently, all of them, even Brackett and Marion, have fight scenes with the Shape. Awesome. Awesome. Halloween Generations, Byron says, I wouldn't mind a Halloween anthology series on HBO Max, Shudder, or Netflix. Generations, you could do following the Myers family, maybe years ago, decades ago. What Michael's parents might have been like, maybe where evil like that truly comes from. I don't know. That could work. I see Byron mentioning Bates Motel. Yes, I love that show. And we've talked before that I could see a Bates Motel type Haddonfield series. My personal pick or idea or pitch would be to focus on Smith's Grove Sanitarium and like a young Dr. Loomis in the years after Michael's murdering of Judith and before his escape. You've got 15 years of time right there, and you could set a series, a good 5 to 8 seasons of a series right there in the middle of that time period, and Michael would be there but never be really the focus of the story, except for maybe like the season finale, the series finale, or something like that. But it would be about Loomis and the staff and the other crazy people that they come into contact with at that place. So that'd be my pick. That'd be the one I'd want to see the most if they're going to do an anthology series like that. Senior Dia Creepypastero mentions Tarman. Tarman from Return of the Living Dead, right? Yeah. All right. And Byron says anthologies. Yeah, like I already got that. Sorry guys, I'm losing my place here. I'm yapping too much. That reminds me of Hush or Joker, Byron says. Okay. Will Halloween Kills be as brutal as Halloween 6 theatrical cut? Halloween 6 theatrical cut was pretty brutal. But again, I think 2018 topped it on the brutality scale, in my opinion. Looks like Senior is asking for our favorite creepypasta. You guys let me know what's your favorite creepypasta. Byron says, what if Halloween Kills came out September 24th of next year instead of October 15th of this year? Yeah, I mean, again, Universal, Blumhouse, of course they want to make money. That's their priority, and they're going to make the most money if they can do the traditional theatrical release, followed by a VOD, followed by, Blu-ray, followed the next year by extended edition Blu-ray or director's cut or whatever. As far as that, looking at it from that standpoint, the 2-week window that it would give Halloween Kills, or even the 3-week, or even a month-long window, as opposed to having a year to make money off of that film. Again, I mean, I just go back to the fact that it's sitting there. It's already been rated, so they've already submitted their theatrical cut that is going to be released, and they're so sure that that's the final cut that they've already submitted it to be rated. So it's out there. I mean, it's done. It's sitting there. So I just go back to that when I say that I don't think they're going to delay. As much as Universal wants that theatrical release, I mean, shit, move it up a few weeks this year. Release it October 1, in theaters. 2 weeks later, put it out on premium VOD and theaters. And then, it's going to make a ton of money. Is it going to make pre-COVID money? Look, I don't know when anything's going to make pre-COVID money in any industry, especially one affected so much as the film industry. You know what I mean? Like, maybe next year with ends, COVID is, I dare even say it, but enough behind us enough to for it to be almost a normal theatrical experience. I mean, I kind of feel like as exciting as that IMAX part of the delay announcement is, again, it's tough. How many IMAX theaters are going to be open this October? How, are they going to be able to seat to capacity? Probably not. So just right there, but in a way, if it's still, like I remember going to the midnight premieres of movies years ago, and now they don't do the midnight premieres on Thursday nights at midnight. Now they do them at 6, 7, 8 p.m. on Thursday night, and which is a lot more convenient for my old ass. And but there was something special about staying up and being there, and the theater not being packed because it's only those people that really care at midnight the night of opening to be there at 12:01 a.m. So, yeah, I mean, in a way, having the limited capacity, even this year, even on October 15th, might make it a little more special. Again, I'm just hoping that vaccines are enough of a way of life by then, and that it's not a whole lot of anxiety for myself and anybody else to go to a theater, and just to go to a theater and to watch a movie. Like right now, it's anxiety. Our theater is open up the street, but they're only open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they're only showing a limited number of movies. And of course, it's and I haven't been since they reopened, and I don't know when I'm going to go. But if they're showing Halloween Kills on October 15th, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be there one way or the other. So, yeah, I just, of course things could change, but just looking at it from that standpoint, it's hard for me to see Universal even looking just at the number justifying another delay, because again, it would have to mean another year-long delay. I mean, it doesn't have to. They could release it in the summer. They could release it, like Byron said, in September. But I think, again, they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot by doing that, by not releasing a Halloween movie around Halloween time. It's kind of, you know. Ken says theaters around me are shutting down. Shutting down again. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the only part about the release plan is maybe make it available on VOD, even premium VOD if we have to, around October 15th, around the theatrical time, sooner than that 30-day window, which, if it makes $50 million or more, uh, I believe Universal is committed to giving any film that pulls in that, which would mean it would not hit premium VOD until November 15th, which again, for us, is all fine and good, but none of us are going to want to wait that long. It's, and if it's only opening in limited theaters, and my theater up the street is not one of those limited ones, and I can't have the option for PVOD until almost Thanksgiving, yeah. Now that's going to suck if that turns out to be the way. So, again, I'm just going to, for tonight, choose to be hopeful that we'll be back in theaters, hopefully by then. Byron says Nightmare on Elm Street 3 isn't on HBO Max. What the fuck? That or the series about Allison, or a Psycho 2 type film with Allison. Yes, Byron. I know you love Allison and you want to see her adventure continue, which, again, I've said before, I could see that. All right. Gosh, it's already been an hour. I've got a few other things to talk about, though, guys, believe it or not. I know. I'm just yapping, and you're like, well, yeah, we're just move on. But just want to make sure I made my point. So, all right. So, yeah, we still got show and tell I was going to do, but let's go ahead and do this little news item. Again, not really news, just a fun little franchise thing. I don't know if you guys saw, but Daniel Harris and Scout Taylor Compton did a Instagram live Saturday night where they actually watched Halloween 2007, Rob Zombie's Halloween remake, and they watched the whole thing, and they filmed themselves watching it live and did their commentary track. And I watched most of it. I tuned in a little bit late and had to step away a few times, but there's a screen grab from it. There they are. It was pretty entertaining. I mean, it was pretty fun. I'm a fan of both of theirs, and I've met them both a few times, and they're very nice and cool. And yeah, I mean, they don't have their commentary track on the Blu-ray as a bonus feature, so it's kind of like an extra bonus feature just to hear them. They didn't tell a whole lot that I didn't already know or that we don't already know, but yeah, Byron says saw that. That was pretty cool. Yeah, it was a good. Like I said, it was entertaining enough. Not a whole lot of stuff that we didn't already know. It was fun to hear them talk about some of the scenes, what was going on behind the scenes, what was dubbed in later, what was Rob's direction here or there. But it was a pretty fun thing that they did, and they said that they are going to do another one for Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, 2009, which they're going to put on Instagram Live. And they said they had filmed one for Halloween 2018, but Daniel has not released that yet. And Because I do remember them saying that they were going to do that, and I wanted to find out their reaction to that film. I think we all would love to hear an unfiltered reaction from them about that. So, but that one's not out yet. But yeah, I don't know if that live is going to be put on Danielle's YouTube page or where, or if it was just a one-time thing. But it was pretty cool to watch. All right, Ken's heading off to bed. All right, man. Thank you for coming by. A salute to you. Happy Michael Myers Monday, Ken. I know we're getting late. Maybe I'll do an earlier version of this sometime to see if somebody else commented on Facebook earlier today that they can't tune in at 10:30 at night because they got to go to bed for work. I know a lot of people do on a Monday night, but Lawrence Trunks says, can't you till Halloween comes to theater or TV this year, a continuation from the last Halloween movie? Can't wait till the new Halloween, I guess, is what you're saying. Can't wait till HK comes. All right. And welcome, Lawrence. Thank you for joining us and chiming in. And good night, Ken. Okay. So that was the Daniel and Scout thing. One other thing I want to do. I try to have a show and tell each week, and I actually skipped over it this week. We normally I start off with the show and tell, and either something that I recently got to add to my own personal collection, or something that somebody sent me, or maybe something that we have in stock at our online store. And I don't have what I was planning to have this week was we've got a shipment of a bunch of restocks of franchise merch coming for our online store. Stuff that we've been sold out of pretty much since last Halloween, or prior to last Halloween. It's all Trick or Treat Studios products in this shipment. I got an email. It was actually shipped out last Thursday. And so we should be getting it any day now. I was kind of thinking maybe that it might show up today, in which case I'd have a few things to show you. But it didn't make it here today. Probably tomorrow, or in any case, one day this week, it should be arriving. So next week, I'm going to have some new stuff to show you as far as what we're getting back in stock. Because among those items is going to be the Halloween 1978 Michael Myers Deluxe mask, which we've been sold out of, like I said, since prior to last Halloween. We're going to have more of them. They're marked sold out on the site as of now, but as soon as we get them in hand, they will go back up and available for order and to be shipped out immediately. We're also going to be getting more of the cutouts, the wall decor. These we only got a few of last year, and they all sold out, I think, before we even got them in hand, I want to say. They sold out really fast, and they're pretty awesome. They are actually, I don't have the photo queued up for you, but what it is, it's like the old school vintage Beistel cardboard cutout Halloween wall decor. And we've got one set that's a Halloween 78 set, and it's only $12, and it comes with actually 6 different pieces, and these pieces are all pretty big. And one of them is a posable Michael Myers, and he's posable in the same way that the old cutout skeletons, that you see, the classic skeleton wall decorations. Well, Michael's just like that. He's jointed, and you can pose him however you want. And it's also got 5 other non-posable static cutout decorations included in that set. And that one's $12 because it's got 6 items. Most of the other sets have 5, but they're only $10 each. And like I said, once they're in stock, I'll have them here, and I'll be able to show you the size of these things. But they're really pretty awesome. And we're also going to be getting, in addition to the Halloween 78, Wall decor, we're also going to be getting the Halloween 3 Season of the Witch wall decor set, as well as the Halloween 4 wall decor set. We're also going to be getting some more of our scare fresheners, fear fresheners, including the Halloween 78 Michael Myers, which we've never had in stock before, but we're going to have that one, as well as the new for 2021 Halloween poster image fear freshener. So we're going to have all those in stock here in the next few days. And for the first time ever, we're going to have keychains. Halloween 2 Michael Myers keychains. All that is coming. So I didn't really want to have nothing for the show and tell this week. So I wanted to bring out something that we do have in stock right now. Still got some of them in hand. This is the officially licensed Halloween 2 Michael Myers 3 3/4 inch reaction figure. Now, this is put out by Super 7. They are available right now at our online store, HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. These figures, they are meant to be like the vintage Star Wars Kenner figures that we grew up with. They are not meant to be super detailed like your NECA or your McFarlane or your Sideshow figures. They are much more a throwback, a vintage feel, hence the packaging, the card backs. And this Michael Myers, he's got his 6 bloody bullet holes, and he's got 4 accessories, including the butcher knife, but also a syringe, a scalpel, and a hammer. And you could go back a few weeks ago. I had my unboxed version of that figure here with the previously released Halloween 78 Myers reaction figure that was released years ago. And I kind of compared them both. And the bottom line is it's a different mold. It's a different figure altogether. It is a bulkier body. The hands are slightly different. This one actually has one thumb out, like he's hitching a ride, but it's so he can hold the weapons that much better. And the mask it's a different mask. This one actually is a little shorter and wider, which if you guys are mask geeks out there, and you talk about the Castle stretch, how Nick Castle had a slightly longer fit, and then the Dick Warlock look where he's in Halloween 2, it's the same mask, but Dick's head is a little bit more round and less oval than Nick's. It's kind of illustrated in these figures, which are not, again, they're not meant to be super, super detailed recreations of the actual look, but they do kind of get that, that was the Castle stretch, and this is Dick Warlock. It's pretty awesome, though. So, again, we're going to have those, and then I also, just for the show and tell, these are listed right now, Halloween 5 and Halloween 6. These are the fear fresheners. These are both, actually, the curse is vanilla scented, but the revenge is cinnamon scented. And this is what they look like. Halloween 5 and 6. They're listed on the site right now. They are air fresheners, and they do smell delicious. And they are officially licensed, made by Trick or Treat Studios. And we've got the 5 and the 6, as well as the Halloween 3. They're all listed on the site now. If all the Halloween 3s are not listed right now, we've got more coming, like the TV pumpkin. But what's not listed right now is the Halloween 78 Fear Freshener. 2 versions, one with Michael's mask and one with the poster image. Those are both going to be listed as soon as they get in stock within the next week, and I'll have those here next week. So that's this week's show and tell of new merch. Let's see. Byron says, nice. Can't wait to see those items once you get them. Yes. Next week I'll have, like I said, I'll have the 78, our new batch of 78 Myers masks. Now, this one over here, right there, that guy, we do have in stock right now. That is actually called the Boogeyman. That is the alternate Halloween 78 Michael Myers. It's supposed to be from the end of the movie after Laurie has done the needle stab in the neck, because it does have the neck wound. Now, those Boogeyman masks, we actually do have a few of those still in stock right now. The straight 78 Deluxe, which Trick or Treat Studios calls the Shape, those we've been sold out for months. So I'm very excited to have more of those in. We are going to be getting more Halloween 2018s, but not quite yet. And of course, we are going to be getting a bunch of Halloween Kills masks, but not yet. But they're coming. But that's still going to be a few months down the road. But just very excited, because usually this time of year in winter, we are pretty much out of stock of everything. So stoked to be getting more of them. And once I get them, again, hopefully this week, probably, usually once we get the shipping notification within a week, they arrive. So, and that came last Thursday. So we should be getting them here this week pretty soon. Lawrence had the original Halloween soundtrack CD, but lost it. Is it possible to send me one? I am in the hospital rehab, not feeling well, and I love the soundtrack CD. Well, I don't have a copy of the original soundtrack CD to send, but yeah, maybe one of these other guys do, or I'm sure you can find one on Amazon. Just search it out, or Spotify. Spotify is free, and yeah, I just thought of that. All the soundtracks are on Spotify, so hook up your Spotify, Lawrence, and you can listen to not just Halloween 78, but all the soundtracks. And yeah, it's free. The commercial version is free with ads, so. Let's see. Byron says, I had a H4 bandage mask on the Trick or Treat Studios website one day. I'd love to wear that. Yeah. Yeah, Amazon or Spotify. Yeah. I don't know if they ever released the bandage mask. Were they taking pre-orders for that at one point? I know they've done pretty much all the franchise except for the Rob Zombie films at this point, and numerous variations. But that H Kills is definitely going to be the hot one for the year, and 2018, because that's just always a huge seller. We sell out of them every year since 2018 as soon as we get them. And same thing with these 78s that we're getting more of. That's why I'm not even going to list them until they're actually in hand, because they start going pretty quick. I will say, though, and I did this last week, I'll say it, if anybody is watching this tonight and orders something that is in stock tonight, like that guy, I'll throw in a little surprise treat in your box. And a little something extra. If you order tonight, like, not even during the show, but if you order tonight, like in the next 24 hours, how about that? That way anybody tuning in after the fact, or tomorrow even, can, if you do that. Maybe we'll do it again next week with the new stuff. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see how many free treats I gotta throw in. But, again, nothing too major, but it'll be something cool that you'll like. Okay, Byron, you meant you'd love to see an H4 bandage mask. Yes. Trick or Treat should do that, because they did do, well, they've done the H4 mask and even the Jamie Lloyd H4 mask, as well as the, which also kind of doubles as young Michael in H4 too, our friend Eric Preston. Also, they did the Brute mask from Halloween 5. If you remember Michael sitting in Mike's car wearing the Brute mask, which I love. Senior says Freddy Krueger is sad? Question mark. Is he sad? I think he's pretty happily doing his thing most of the time. I think Jason might be sad, and Michael I always kind of see as a trickster, as like a 6-year-old kid deviously laughing at the pranks he's pulling on everybody behind that mask. Like I almost feel like that's Michael just stuck in that 6-year-old playing tricks on his sister, but they just turn out to be deadly tricks. Hey, what are you gonna do? But uh, Jason, I always get the impression, yeah, he's kind of sad. And Freddy, I feel like, yeah, he's not sad. He's having the time of his life, or his afterlife. I don't know. You guys tell me. Byron says, I might get the Halloween Kills mask. Still my Halloween 2018 mask, but it has a tiny rip at the bottom of Michael's left eye. A big tear, but I can barely spot it. Yep, you gotta be careful. Sometimes those rips do happen. Yeah, I can't wait to see the Kills mask. I'm sure they'll do a brilliant job with it. Lawrence says, I may buy from you the Michael Myers figure within the next few weeks. Yes. Thank you, Lawrence. Yeah, please do. And, of course, I don't have to tell you. I mean, you can find the products that we carry at other places, obviously. Trick or Treat and Super 7 sell them themselves. Plenty of other vendors. But, yeah, if you want to support these lives, this channel, HalloweenDailyNews.com, the website, yeah, the best way is to buy from our store and also purchase through the links in our articles. You see those disclaimers a lot in the beginning of our articles that there's paid links. Well, all those, whether it's Amazon associate links or whatever they might be, they that all helps support the website, and it's pennies here and there, but all those pennies add up, as you guys know, and that keeps us up and running. So yeah, if you can buy one of these figures. We've also got the big 1/6 scale figures in stock too. A few of those left, not too many, but yes. Byron says Halloween 5 soundtrack isn't on Spotify for some odd reason. I didn't do anything to the mask, just happened to know how it happened. Yeah, sometimes they do get weird where even just sitting still, depending on how they're sitting, I think, or weather conditions, I think, depending sometimes. Lawrence says also have a movie, Michael Myers versus Jason Voorhees. That would be a great movie. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd go see it. I've said before, my personal preference is let's keep Michael out of the versus movies. I think he's too special to really kind of share the spotlight, but at the same time, I'd be first in line to get a ticket. All right, guys, what else you guys want to talk to? I got a little bit of battery left, and then my DSLR is probably gonna turn off on me, so I'm probably gonna wrap it up here in the next few minutes. Didn't really talk about the video game. There's not really a lot to talk about. There's a lot of talk and speculation, hopes and dreams and rumors. Is there going to be a Halloween video game? Again, we could talk more about it next week. All I'll say is I don't think it's a matter of will there be a Halloween video game. I think it's a matter of when. And yeah, could it be Gun Media who did the Friday the 13th game? Could it be announced sometime in the next few months? Could it come out sometime between Kills and Ends and incorporate our James Jude Courtney 2018 version of Michael Myers? I think the answer to all that is, in my opinion, yeah. I think all that's very possible and, in fact, quite likely. Many of you saw the story recently that I guess Kane Hodder did an appearance on the Cameo app back in December, and he let it be known during that he was doing motion capture for a horror game of another big horror franchise, and he couldn't say what. So, of course, speculation started going crazy. You look at who Kane could play, though. I mean, obviously it could be Victor Crowley, Hatchet, but I don't think that's got the huge loyal audience that they would need for an undertaking this big. There's there's Freddy, but I can't really see Kane playing Freddy or Candyman or even Ghostface. Now Leatherface, yes, I could see Kane if they were to do a quality Chainsaw game. Yeah, don't tell me you couldn't see Kane Hodder doing a badass Leatherface. I'd love that. But other than that, that really only leaves, if you eliminate that it's not Friday the 13th, Michael. And Kane has said in years past he'd love to play Michael officially in a real capacity. Yeah, a nice, bulky, mean Michael for the game. Yeah, I can see that. So again, we'll talk more about that next week, I think. And but yeah, in my opinion, will it happen? Yeah, I think it's going to happen. Is it going to happen exactly like that? Is that what Kane's talking about? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised, though. I wouldn't be surprised. Again, Trancas Executive VP Ryan Freeman said months ago that lots of things are in development. Some we'd hear about sooner than some later. Part of that sooner was the kids' book, The Legend of Halloween. The later, we still don't really know what he was referring to. I wouldn't be surprised if it's something along the lines of Halloween, the game, for something like, I don't know, the new PlayStation 5 or whatever Xbox's latest version is. Yeah, I could see all that happening. So, but let's talk about that next week. I've been on here for so long already, and I feel like my camera might crap out on me any minute. So I'm going to sign off. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. This has been a blast, like always. We will do it again next week. Michael Myers Monday. Let me drink again. Byron says, when you said love, not in that way. I don't know what you mean exactly. I'd be up all night playing that video game if that ever happens. Yes, I think we all would. I mean, that'd be a community event. Lauren says, do you have a book or video on who played Michael Myers in Halloween 1 and 2 and Halloween 4 and 5, the interviews and everything, and the person who shot the police station in Halloween 5? Joseph Anthony Mattiers says, OMG, just found this channel. Sounds awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you for finding us. I'm signing off for tonight, but welcome, Joseph. Sounds like we've made another friend, guys. So I will be back next week. Lawrence, yes, thank you, sir. I have interviewed many of the Michael Myers guys. You can find them in the interview section at HalloweenDailyNews.com. Byron says, I was referring to Allison when the... Yes, yeah, I know when I said you love Allison. I know you didn't mean that way. I know. But you love the idea of carrying on that character. And yes, I hear you, man. I hear you. I'd love to see more. But as I've said before, I just want to see where they take the character in these next two movies. And I'm very excited for that. All right. So, and again, Joseph, thank you for finding us. Yes, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Any of you guys watching, please subscribe to the channel and set your notifications, turn them on, and plan to join me every Monday night at 10:31 p.m. right here for Michael Myers Monday Live. And then also look for our pre-recorded weekly show, the Halloween show, on Friday mornings at 10:30 a.m. All right, guys. Happy Michael Myers Monday. I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you all for watching.